that I would ask you, dear viewers, is do you recognize either of these two players? Okay, we have heard of a few of them, it looks like. Oh, this is brilliant. This isn't at all lined up. Oh my god, all of my preparations are going down the drain. Alright, so we do have some people here that have heard of Black. Good. That's essentially why I picked it, because of him. Long story short, there are three pretty good friends in China. You may recognize these names. Guli, Kangji, and our lovely Hu here. Now, you may know that Guli and Kangji are essentially two of the strongest players in China. They're nice professional 9-dans. They've won rather important tournaments in their time to make a name for themselves. And Black, on the other hand, hasn't yet. However, you do still look at his games and you know he's just not your average professional player, right? You do see strength there. You see a lot of very fascinating games that are worth studying. But he hasn't quite been able to make 9-dan. So he's a rather curious person to study. Definitely well worth it though, if you're looking for someone new. Maybe you're getting bored with the regular players that you have been going over. I do fully recommend going over Black here. Maybe even this game, because it is a lot of fun. That being said, he opens up normally, as expected from anything that I ever go over in the history of ever. And now there's a few reasons why I picked this game. We see a Chinese Fuseki immediately, because everyone's playing it. We see an approach. Who knows what the approach is? How are we approaching the Chinese Fuseki? How would you approach the Chinese Fuseki? I would approach it 04, so says Ranchan. I would approach it N3, says RJM. But Moboy and Yannick are a little bit more up to date, and they do say 017. Now, approaching the bottom is not at all a bad thing. Just so you know, if you like playing, let's see, Label Tool, we've got pretty much any of this sort of thing that we can do, and they're all fine. They're all okay. Lately, we've been seeing this approach. A little bit curious. Usually when we see this approach, we're thinking, okay, we're getting into a framework game. Black's going to back off. We're going to get to back off. They're going to approach on the bottom. We're going to back off from there. They're going to get their framework. I can get my framework, and it's going to be a battle of frameworks. Not quite how the game goes. Black plays normally. Takes a nice move to make his framework work very well for himself. Tying stones together. But instead of backing off, we see the 3-3. Which immediately alright, you just said something there that has confused me. Because I thought I had. And if I haven't, that's really, really bad for me. Because they might be deleted. I have the one from earlier this month on YouTube. And the one before that. Yeah, they're there. Yeah, they're on YouTube. Ooh, maybe not in my playlist, though. I'll have to go make sure and put them in the playlist. But yeah, Black splits, and then keeps disconnected. Many of you would probably expect this. Only trouble with playing this way is it does leave this really, really awesome extension here that you can use to attack later, because the mark stones here, for example, can in fact be attacked, whereas white is now pretty much immortal in the upper hand corner. So we've been seeing a separation here. And with this separation, connect, connect, go under, threaten to come out, keeps white all nicely inside the corner. Utilizing all that Aji, black turns, allowing white to jump away. Now, is it possible to kill the upper right hand corner, yes or no? Okay, everyone is pretty much agreeing that the answer to that is no. And you are quite correct. This move here is annoying. Happy little forcing move ensures that we're going to get our eyes. Very recent game, Hu Yaoyu. So can't really do much there with that still lingering. But if we try and use our outside influence, what typically happens is we're either forcing the push and cut, or we're allowing white to defend himself in sente by simply extending and threaten to push and cut. A lot of really awful things are still here with this particular cut point. So we're actually seeing black connect it every once in a while, which I haven't entirely formed my opinion of this particular move yet. It feels so slow, but allowing ourselves to be cut or allowing ourselves to be poked, that's a lot of really bad Aji. So right now we're seeing a lot of games, as Zerial's mentioning, it's quite popular right now, to actually play this way, to see what we can get from it. I mean, I like it a lot more when we see this move one closer, because then we have an actual attack on here that I would really, really like. This is the kind of thing that I would love to be aiming for. There's many different variations here. Some people have been trying not to play this because I guess, like Ranchan, they want to play faster, so sometimes we see the Hane to try to protect, and if white plays the Hane in response, then we'll cut through, because those can't live ever. Well, I guess they can, but you don't really want them to at this point. Unless you're really going to try and hook up on the second line, which is not a good idea. Just spoilers. But when white's farther away from here, there's a question, what is this actually going to do? Am I going to destroy the SGF tree in 20 moves? Yes, I am. Way to go, way to go. That's got to be a record. So yeah, white has sente. White can then do what everyone wanted to do initially. Approach from the bottom. Try to get black to enclose. And black will enclose because he wants that territory. And then we get to back off. So here in this game so far, for white, we've managed to steal a corner. Not dying anytime soon. We've managed to get a bit of a framework on the bottom, bit of a framework on the top. We still have the left-hand side open, and we can pretty well count what black's got, right? He's got an enclosure with an extension, and probably some of this, because we can't actually, you know, take that away from him. Yeah, I already killed the tree. I did that to show you what I would like to do, forgetting that, oops, I just killed the tree. So, now the question is, how the heck is black going to continue this game? And these are the kinds of things that I'm really, really interested in right now, because as we mentioned previously, this has been showing up an awful lot lately. So we see black do something completely understandable. And that's, we have this influence. He hasn't over-concentrated himself with this group, but there is that hole there. So I would like to attack this. If this area gets completely fixed and we never get to poke at the Ajita tier, that's a rough game for black. I mean, you do not want to go into that. I mean, at that point, you're starting over from scratch trying to find Ajita to use, and you might not. You might not. So, alright, we are going to attack. As Prime has mentioned, we're jumping into a pincer. What do we do when people jump into a pincer? We kick the crap out of them and make sure they can't surround us. Something that you Q players may want to remember from time to time. If you play this thinking that you're being super aggressive, you just made your opponent smile and smile and smile and smile and smile. It's like, wow, this game got easier. I was really worried about that group for a minute. Good thing you let me completely surround you. So yeah, don't do that. Very, very bad. So alright, we protect, because we know that we're not inviting that. No. And time for black to attack. What do you think? Are we gonna actually get much done here with this attack? Who here predicts lots of benefit for black from this attack? Rukia says nothing. That we're gonna get zip from this. Toya Akira says we're going to get a wall here. Knowing the games you pick, yes, that is so a spoiler. I should completely just change up everything I do for the next couple of months and just pick games my favorite players lose. But alright, we can live here pretty easy. I mean, we can attach here, we can even still extend. I thought I should just pick nothing but Japanese games for like 2 months. White extends, black pokes, white's gonna turn obviously, not respond to that, forcing white or black to respond as well, and then we're gonna come out. Okay, good deal. Now what are we gonna do? Now what are we gonna do? Prime wants to immediately attack. Attack something. Some wall you got there. Yeah. Going to M17. We wouldn't really predict that to work out very well, since white's already out. Black plays here. We're going to go into the corner again. Rukus, is this corner dead now? Since you have brazenly said, kill the corner. No, it is Ko. Uh-oh. Someone said it's death. Why does he want a 20-point corner? Does he want the 20-point corner? Or is he looking for this move? It is entirely possible. He just doesn't. Well, yes, he would like to. He would like to kill the corner, obviously. But also getting in this for free would be really, really cool. Because then, yeah, you can totally play that whole M17 thing, because there's no Hane and things of that nature. So white says, yep, that corner, screw it, I don't care, we're getting out. Black says, then I'll cut you. Taking profit for himself. And now is where white seems to be getting a little bit uncomfortable with his position. Because he immediately attaches. Which is a curious thing. Because we can take a look at this and see a small knight and think to ourselves, rumor has it that's vulnerable. We can take a look at this small knight and essentially say deja vu. We can see what he's trying to do, though. If we attach here, we're not saying anything along the lines of, I want to invade and reduce this and things like that. He wants the outside. And the reason why he wants the outside is for things like ladders, as mentioned, and because this is where he can profit. If we attach, like so, and black does not come out, let's say he decides to hold on to this for dear life, then we're going to get forcing moves here, right? As our opponent does exactly what we just said. As he tries to hold on to everything, he's going to seal off pretty much the middle for white. For no good reason. So black says, no forcing moves for you. You're not knocking me out of there. I've been seeing Q6 a lot lately. Yeah, attachments are pretty good in that regard. I mean, this is something that your opponent's going to respond to. And if your opponent's going to respond to it, then we can probably get stronger. And if we can get stronger, then we can probably get whatever it is, that other thing that we want. We can probably get that if our opponent's forced to respond to us. I mean, at most, we're essentially saying, in exchange for getting that, I'm never going to be able to make some kind of invasion here, which we really probably weren't going to be able to do anyway. So, interesting exchange, interesting exchange. So black comes out. White keeps up with that attachments. Black just connects. I mean, he's out now, so why not? Makes perfect sense. Forces connection. And thus tries to kill. And now the corner is dead, yes. Wait, Q6 and now the corner is dead? Huh? Q6? Q6 is a... 2 ideas, 1 sentence. Okay. I see. Alright, cool. So, trying to kill those stones. We can, of course, kill those stones. But there's, you know, some kind of aji here. Black gets to take his stones, but unfortunately, white's alive too. So, interesting idea. N18, really? Yeah. What? I mean, you could have... What else were you gonna play? You're gonna ignore this and play elsewhere? I spent to N17, but didn't read. Well, if we play this, and black connects, are we alive here yet? And it looks like the answer to that is going to be no, right? So we're going to have to play here again. So if we play here, these aren't something that black can save. So we're good. Ah, I see. Unfortunately, white gets sente, takes a very large move for himself. So it looks like the game's kind of stabilizing. Though since it's black's turn, there are things we do whenever we get sente. And what are those things? What do we do with that sente? We immediately shout out coordinates. Okay. Yeah. I like your answer though. We look for weak groups. We try to find 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 weak groups. We try we take more Sente. Yeah, finding Sente moves is a good thing too. Attack. We resign when we have Sente. That's good. Check for weak groups and large areas. Weak groups, notice he did not say that accidentally first. That was very deliberate. Because if there is a weak group and if there is a large area, chances are you should probably be doing something to pressure said weak group before just playing that large area in Gote. Giving up attacks potentially forever in order to take a couple of points, usually not the exchange you're looking for. Though a lot of people do that anyway. So alright, we can identify that these stones are all by them lonesomes. We can identify that this is pretty well okay, but there is still potential cut here. Can we do anything about it right now? Maybe not. Maybe not. But something to think about. As we're going to see very, very shortly. That white group still has one eye. Depends who plays there first. Which is why I said for now, it's probably okay. But something to keep our eye on. So white approaches, or black approaches, white defends, black gets a base, and now since white has Sente, we can see that idea. We didn't attack the weak group, so we're going to aid it and see if we can prevent black from attacking us. We strengthen ourselves, black defends, and now if we wanted to, and this is kind of important to realize, if we wanted to, we can jump out and aid all the things. So who thought the bigger was worth? He probably didn't see a clear way to attack the center right now, and he didn't want to risk attacking the center and allow all the stuff to connect up, yeah. However, phew, ow. What was my second thought? Oh my god, I think I just sneezed my thought away. There's something else I wanted to say about that, and it'll probably come back to me later. Suffice it to say, white right now can connect up all, which would be really, really nice. Black probably wouldn't be able to attack him later if he does. And black even has a bit of a weak group here. We can still assault this. There's connection available. But white's in the middle as well. So, could be an idea. Could be an idea. White defends himself instead, allowing black to take the offensive position, trying to, again, cut white into two weak stones. But white decides to ignore and go on the attack. And we can see why. We can see a wall here if we draw them imaginary lines. We can see a wall here if we draw them imaginary lines. And we can start thinking to ourselves, maybe we're going to win this game by 100 points. It'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool. Black responds, because you can't ignore it when your group's under attack. White wants everything he can possibly get, which black tries to interrupt, forcing a bit of a fight here. So here we have our fight. White descends, cut for Aji. We Atari down here. Such a shame he didn't Atari this way, then we have free moves again. And then black defends. Oh, sorry. So white... So, could white live earlier in the upper right corner before P19? It's a question of timing on that one. Oh, I'll go back. I'll do it later then. But right now we have a great fight going on in the middle. And I use the term great loosely, depending on if you like fighting or not. I tend to, so I think it's really nice. Essentially we have this group, which is, it's got shape to it. We've got another group of blacks, not quite so much shape to it. We've got whatever's going on the right-hand side for white, which is in a lot of trouble. And as someone already mentioned earlier, this could be given one eye. So it's a really delicate balance here that I love seeing in these games, where things can live. It's not like they're flat out having no eyes and they're dead. But you do have to be careful because they're not 100% alive yet. They have good shape, but that doesn't mean they're immortal. So when fighting breaks out, things get really, really fun to see. So alright, here we go with this. White saves stones. Black drops down, thus creating another contestant in the how many groups that are weak can we create. So alright, have to look after these now as well as everything else on the board. Yeah, when this many groups start getting unsettled, chances are something's gonna die. That is true. White plays the Hane on the inside, which is really nice. So many players would play this and not think twice about it. Like, there's no other move. I mean, whenever anyone attaches to me, I just Hane under, and that's what I do. Or, okay, I'm attached, I'm going to extend now, because they have to respond and I have Sente. It's kind of hard to see when this is actually a fine move. We can see that white's going to Atari, or black's going to Atari. And Atari. And the ever so faithful semi-Atari, where we can almost Atari our next turn. K5 though. True. But we're not going to play K5. We're going to instead play here and create... Oh, what? Oh, you're confused about that one? About why we did not Atari here? This ensures... Ah, I see. This creates more of a problem. If we play here, then these stones are pretty much fine now, simply because we're over the top of this, and we can still go under here. If we Atari this way, these two stones are now 1 second away from being killed. So this is an issue. Black connects. White says, you know, kill me. I completely don't know how I did this. How am I a move short? What is going on? Is this some sort of sorcery? Oh, snap. Alright. Yeah, I'm dumb. Black yeah, you go here, then we go here, then we go here. Doesn't matter. The tree's already killed, so let's not pretend that we care. Then we can Atari. See, that's why it was confusing me. That wasn't Atari a minute ago. Therefore, it made no sense. Alright, so now we extend, get to Atari out that stone, but does it work? Hard to read, that is exactly why I asked you. Alright, can we net it then? Ooh. See, part of the fun of being a teacher is just seeing so many conflicting answers. Just like seeing where everyone is in their reading. It's like, ooh, that guy's got a pretty good reading on him. It's like, ooh, that guy's kind of lacking, even though he's like, he's a 9 down and he got that one wrong. Ooh, that's kind of weird. Doesn't quite work, so says RGM and probably many other people before him. But you're right. We can play here, and we saw where the ladder went. We can play here, but we can't quite kill it. We can go here, and we're going to turn. But now we can't net right now, which is what we'd have to do in order to kill. So all we can do is push again. And he's going to extend. Then we're going to cover our tracks, in which case we're going to Atari these stones. But now there's also that back one at M3 that has to be protected, or we're going to kill off those stones as well. So black has to protect. And now we fully understand why exactly we chose this one over the other. This fixes so many headaches for black. And this says, okay, not that one. And this says you can resign now. Can't be protected. Just can't be protected. So we gotta do all of this, we lose all of that, and we lose it in Gote. So we would really, really love to use all of our influence now as black, right? To go off and just pressure the crap out of these stones. That would have been so great. Instead, white gets Sente in order to protect. So I have now posed a question to you fine watchers and all of you awesome people later on YouTube. Who's going to win this game, do you think? We're still voting on black. Is it... Are you guys counting? Or are you just assuming that the 8P is going to win? Okay, so everyone here who says that black is going to win, you would like to be in his position rather than white's? If we could like give you control of this game right now, you would want to take black's position? Okay, nobody wants black's position. Okay. Oh, Toy says yes because he has momentum. Okay, okay. Alright. I would be nervous as black. I don't mind admitting it. I'd be looking at the fact that I probably just messed up that read completely. I'm looking at the fact that I'm losing my attacks in the center, and I'm getting a little bit nervous. I would be consoling myself, though, with the fact that, okay, I lost some stones here, but I gained some in the corner, and this bottom right is worth about an infinity points. So I can console myself with that. However, we're not out of the woods yet, right? We still have these stones, which aren't dead yet. We still have a cut point, which now obviously works. So we're still under attack, too. But he's not going to defend it with just a connection or something like a tiger's mouth or something. He actually goes after the shape. Because if we do simply connect this, say, alright, we're in trouble, connecting, maybe connect this way for more territory, I don't know, we're probably never going to get to attack that center, ever. All we can do now is poke at it while defending. And this is a very important vital point, because we do see that a small knight, and we see a large knight, and we know instinctively that these are not the best of things to try to connect up all of your weak groups with. So we can poke at them. White says, I'm going to protect my small knight. So black says, but what about your large knight? White says, it's all cool. I'm going to connect my large knight with a small knight, and thus I'm fine. Black disagrees. He moves to cut through. I mean, how many really awesome shapes are we making here? We go from a small knight and a large knight into more... Come on, go forward. Into this double small knight, which also leaves behind the elephant eye. I mean, we've got shapes all over the place. You could probably do a lecture on just the shapes that are being made in the middle. So White pokes that out, because there's clearly problems here. White defends. Black moves to separate. Where's the empty triangle? We might find... Maybe we'll find one, I don't know. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled for an empty triangle. Alright, so here we have a tough choice. We could, if we're really, really feeling brave, or on a lot of drugs, we could peep at this and kill off the white stones. We can kill them. It is within our power to do. As a result, on the other hand, we're going to get cut here, and all of these things are going to die. So, though we can claim moral victory by killing off these, actual victory will go to white, so can't quite do that. Don't get me wrong, I am all in favor of moral victories. If you're ever playing against Tengen, I don't care if you lose, capture Tengen and feel good about yourself. I teach that to all of my students, that's why they don't improve. So, this was Sente. Black got to connect. So White gets to counterattack. And thus the moves that were offending us a moment ago are now on the retreat. And then we get to follow up with a connection. So, good attack by Black, but his own weaknesses kind of turned against him in the end there. Couldn't really go for the kill on that lovely little group. If we were stronger, then absolutely we could have. But right now, it looks like everything's being connected up. However, even though things are being connected up, we still can spy, I think what Toy Akira is pointing out right now, that we still have small knights available to us. So there are still cuts. So White, or Black rather, goes after the cuts. White says, I'm looking for a connection. Black extends up. White says, I kill your stones. Awesome, awesome life and death problem coming up. It's kind of why I picked this game. A lot of games were played this week, as I mentioned. Games by, you know, just everyone. You have Isidol, you have Guli, you know, whoever your favorite player is, chances are they played this week. But I like this one because it was nice, simple, easy to follow. I loved the shapes that were being made. I loved how we're able to see how you can just poke at those shapes, both offensively and defensively. And to crown it all off, we've got a great life and death problem. Which, in my mind, set this game above everyone else in terms of lecture material. So here we are poking. White extends. Black extends. Poking at the problem that you guys already mentioned. Connects, strengthens himself. Everything's nicely connected. And then he plays here. And why does he play here? He plays here for the nice, simple reason that this group is being made to die. Do you see it? Do you guys see it? Are we seeing what's going on? Awesome, straightforward life and death problem. Tries to enlarge his eye space. And then we see something we don't normally see when we're trying to kill something. We see these 5 stones in the center in the weirdest shape possible that's dead. Yeah, it's like the extra large bent 4. It's the bent 5. Yeah, there you go. And the only reason why this works is because this has to be captured, and then we get to throw in. So, alright. Connects. Black extends. White's looking for an eye, but there's nothing there. Cuts this off, but he connects up, so we can't capture that. So this is dead. There's nowhere for it to go. Ended really abruptly with the weirdest shape I've ever seen kill something. So that, to me, is what separates this game from all of the other ones that I saw this week. Yeah, there is that too, I guess. Though, at least that one can live, right? Oh, no, maybe... Yeah, well, shoot. No, that's gonna die too, isn't it? No, that one can live. Yeah, this can live. This'll live. This'll live. This'll live. That one, at the very least, won't die. Yeah, it'll live in Gote. It'll take 2 whole points. So yeah, that's why I picked this game. Yeah, White resigns after this move here. Yep, after this move here, White left. Or White, he didn't, lol, that would be funny. No, he resigned. He did not just leave the board. I said it 100 times, I would like to see that. I really would. I don't know how many of you actually watch StarCraft, but if he just, like, got up Idra style and just started throwing the stones at the wall, that would make my day. But no, they're slightly more professional than that, so we're probably not going to see it. Will I continue my tag game series? Yes, actually I am. I was streaming my tag game series recently, the last, or Sunday and Monday.